Bill Henshaw here, again, your friendly local constitutional counsel from California. And this video is going to deal with the, wow, a real hot topic of the subject here, which is white supremacy. And yes, I advocate that, and you'll find out the extremely good reasons for it. If you go back to the original intent of those racist framers in setting up our federative government of Republican form of government of defined and limited powers. That's what it is we want back. And when we get that, we can go back and make changes and do it consistent with the Constitution, not an outright contradiction of it. So, that's the exciting news here. And yes, it is true, white male and 21. I make no apologies for that. But that said, if we get back to the original intent and back to sovereign independent states, all of you Africans and Asians now have creator-endowed inalienable rights. And now these law enforcement thugs can't go around like in Akron, Ohio. 8 of them shoot Jalen Walker 48 times in the back. First-degree murder, and nobody even gets indicted for involuntary manslaughter. That's what has to stop, and it will. We get our government back we're supposed to have. None of this is going to happen. Way too much of it. That's an extreme example to be sure, but even the George Floyd case, and I had to make that one look good. Now, if Floyd would have killed that stupid ass cop there, so then he'd be in jail for first degree murder, probably on death row. That has to change. And this is the way to get it done. As strange as it may seem at first, we get the sovereign body politic back in our sovereign independent states, and there are none of those in existence. Send me an email, by the way, uwinreport@gmail.com. I can prove everything I'm saying here a cappella. There simply isn't any lawful government anywhere in sight, whether it's out here where I am in Deadwood City, California, Saco Tomato, or my former hometown of Washington, D.C. There's no lawful government, and that's what the Supreme Court will have to deal with. And that's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do there. But trust me, there hasn't been a lawful government in existence for, 140 years maybe. And it just gets worse and worse because now you have senators elected, and that's not an elective office. And you'll learn more about that too. Send me an email, uwinreport@gmail.com. Because that takes the states out of the equation. There's no Republican form of government anywhere in sight that's guaranteed by Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution. And yet, the routine common answer these days is, the Supreme Court has ruled that was a political question. And to a limited extent, that's true. Back in 1850, I'll get the case for you in a second, but in any case, when we get there, it will be anything but a political question. We have every right to know what the hell is going on here, how we got into this situation, and how to get out of it. And you're going to learn a lot about that. Send me an email, uwinreport@gmail.com, and we can go from there and, make it back for our nation and republic. And if we do that, I will have done the job I'm put here to do. That's what's so exciting. And by the way, there's going to be a lot of people paying off, claims we're going to be making. And we're not going to be filing any bullshit civil rights claims. Forget about that. Just a demand letter, and that's part of my constitutional defense document packet that you can get very modestly priced. And they're going to be paying off big time. You'll be surprised who the primo perps are at times. But yeah, multiple acts of treason by multiple official actors. I mean, it doesn't get any better for us than this. And we get to the Supreme Court, and especially when they have the younger justices on the court, they're going to have our backs. Wow. Just even thinking about that. And we're going to miss Alito and Thomas. They're 2 of my top 10 out of 117. And note, that's Clarence Thomas, a black racist, and here I am, a white supremacist. But that said, if they start doing their job, and the Supreme Court has been complicit in all of this too for the last 90 years or so, and they know it now on this court. And that's one of the biggest changes we have to see, because we get into a judicial court, which I think that is in its original jurisdiction, not the appellate side maybe, but original jurisdiction. We can get a lot done here. And it makes a big difference for you, your children, and your posterity. And in many cases out there, we'll be talking about it. I hope. Send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com. We'll be talking about big settlements with perps that have done very bad things to you that should never have been allowed to have occurred. I mean, this is the United States of America, for crying out loud. When you have creative and valid and alienable rights here, but they've disappeared like a fart in the wind. So it's just all really exciting. Um, so that said, send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com. For more information, especially you Africans and Asians, you're going to be right at the front of the crowd here because of what's going on. And all they think you have are civil rights. Ain't 14th Amendment, doesn't exist, never did exist. You don't have any rights at all that they're bound to respect. And that's the biggest change that we can possibly want to see there, get it reversed like it should be. Oh, that just makes it better, and I will have done the job I was put here to do, too. I got a divine enlightenment here. Don't ask. I don't know how that happened to me, but it did. Because I know myself left and right, and you get me any jackass attorney or blackrobe bastard or you name it, I will shut them down like I did in my South Carolina case in 90 seconds. Didn't know what to do with me. So that said, send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com, and we'll discuss the issues. I'll get you up to speed here on what's really going on and let you kind of read between the lines with a lot of things you see in the mainstream media, so you'll get much more of the real picture. So that said, remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The sooner we start taking action, the quicker we get these bastards off our backs. Thank you.